People that lack accountability just stunt their growth. They're quick to blame other people for their issues and problems and not look in the mirror and do a deep reflection on themselves. But when things are successful in their life and it's well, they're very well looking in the mirror and say, I did that, right? But when things go south, they're quick to point the finger and say, it's other people. You're the reason, you're the fault. So this stunts their growth, because the reality is, when you have problems and issues, it's all about growth and looking at yourself in the inside. If you can't do that, you won't grow and you'll continue to blame people for your issues.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
As a self-actualized woman, I find great joy in taking responsibility for my own life. Whenever you hold on to the victim mentality of blaming other people for where your life is, or trying to hand over the responsibility of your life to someone else, it puts you in a very low vibration. It makes you miserable, resentful, bitter, and all the things. And when I decided to get out of that loser mentality, my life started to progress at rapid speed. This is why I no longer participate in a lot of the conversations people still have about 50-50 relationships and what a man or woman is supposed to do, or a provider, whatever, and all this other stuff. First and foremost, I'm a lesbian, married to a woman. So a lot of those conversations I just don't participate in because gay people are included, whatever. And secondly, I can fully sustain myself, and I think it's almost pathetic how women look for people to take care of them and call it a relationship, or they call it love, or they call it being a goddess, or whatever bullshit they call it. I'm very grateful that I've come to this point in my womanhood where I've become more self-actualized, and I'm taking more responsibility for my life, my actions, and everything involving myself. And now I'm in a space where I don't put pressure on anyone else around me in order for my needs to get met. As a self-actualized woman, I do not put pressure on my spouse to take care of me, although she's not only willing, but able. I do not put pressure on her to take care of me. Now, it makes her very comfortable and happy to be able to pay bills. So that's totally fine. I give her that space because it makes her happy, and she wants to make my life easier as my wife. And I'm okay with that. However, I'm not with her out of necessity or this entitlement that someone else is supposed to take care of me, because I just don't want to do it. I'm very capable of doing that myself. So if I want to, get my nails done, I do that. Or if I want to go buy a new outfit, I do that. Or if I want to take us out to eat and I pay for it, I do that. Or if I want to, pay for our vacation or our trip, I do that. I don't care if people try to say that I'm in a 50-50 relationship or whatever else. Baby, I am 100% responsible for me. Even though my wife loves to take care of me, and I appreciate that of her. However, my financial stability and security is in my hands, even with all of her doing what she's doing. Me paying my own bills and paying for my nails and all this other stuff, that's on me. That's really on me. Okay? I'm not a child. I'm a grown-ass woman. And it's crazy how when I was in that loser mentality, I was looking and searching for somebody to save me and take care of me and provide for me. God has given me all the tools that I need. I am fully equipped of taking care of myself. I'm fully equipped to do the things that I need to do for myself. What the hell do I need another person to sustain my life for, when I'm capable of doing all of that on my own? Come on now. I'm with my wife because I love her. We have a bond. We have something very, very rare and special. I'm not with her because of she can pay my bills. That's pretty pathetic. That's pathetic. I don't know. Y'all can have that. I don't want to put my life and my stability in completely in the hands of another person. That's not safe. That's just, I can't. Y'all can have it, but I refuse.
If you are single with no children, you have absolutely no kind of excuse to not develop, invest, and make the most amount of money that you've ever made in your entire life. Because think about it, you have absolutely no other responsibility but yourself. You have nothing but time. You have so much time to invest in yourself. That means get a higher education. Figure out what you want to do. You can try anything and everything and risk everything, because who else are you sacrificing? Nobody. This is also the time to make the most amount of money that you have ever made in your life. That means if you got to go to work for 10, 15, 20 hours, if you got to really go in on your career, if you have to try that business, do it. You are single with no children. You have no excuse. This is the time to also use your money like Monopoly. Invest. Try and test other things. Because think about it, you're only feeding yourself. If you make a mistake, you have time to recover. If you fall a little bit, you have time to get up. You have time to make that money back. If you have health, you can make wealth. If you have air in your lungs, you have no excuse to stay home all day and do nothing. What are you doing? If you are single with absolutely no kids, you need to sacrifice and do everything that you can right now while you are still young to put a nice foundation for your future, however that looks like, whether it's married, with kids, things like that. You need to look back on your 20s and even 30s and say, wow, I really did a thing. I really tried everything. You don't need to be sitting on your couch and doing nothing. And once you get that married life and once you get that settled down life, then that's when you want to start a new career. That's when you want to try to invest or no! You need to start now. Trial and error right now. You can always invest anytime in your life. But when you don't have any kids, when you don't have any responsibility but yourself, this is your time to act. You have absolutely no excuse.
Guys, there's really no excuse for anything. If you don't have kids, you are free to do whatever that you want to do. There's no limitations whatsoever. If you have goals to hit, goals to accomplish, you can do those things. Especially with no kids, the sky is the limit, for sure.
Everybody just working the day and just thinking about life. See, this called life we live in, it's up to you what you make it out of it. It don't matter what color you are. So I'm sick and tired of people blaming other people for their own problem. It's up to you to live your life and make the best out of it. So I learned that long time ago when I was a kid. My father taught me by example because he was a man, a few words. And my late mother, who died almost 40 years ago, taught me that way too. And my grandfather taught me that way. He was a businessman, farmer. His father left him nothing. But my grandfather worked hard and made something out of himself, a businessman. Says up to you. And my grandfather had 14 kids. And he raised them. Him and my grandmother. And they were poor, but they made something out of themselves. So instead of blaming somebody for your own mishap, look in the mirror. So this called life, everybody going through something. Everybody. Stop blaming other people for your own mishap. Look in the mirror. Because everybody is going through something. Don't matter what color you are. I'm tired of this. That's my opinion, and I stand on it. And I got love for everybody in this world. Because we all going through life. That's how I grew up. And now that's how I go up. Peace out. Have a blessed day.
I'm definitely in my I do not give a fuck era because I have to be. This is all a simulation. None of this is real. We are not only the controller of this video game called life, we are also the main character. I think the sooner people actually realize that that is the role that they are playing in this world, the much happier they'll be. We spend so much time wasting energy worrying about things that are probably never going to happen. Most of the things that we are stressed about never come to pass. Think about it. What have you been stressing about that has actually happened? I'll give you a minute. Most likely, 99% of the things that we stress about never actually happen. We need to focus our energy and our attention on what brings us joy, peace, and comfort, especially in the day that we live in today. Now more than ever, adopting a I do not give a fuck mentality is basically your signal to the universe that you are surrendering. You are surrendering. You know that you cannot and should not have to bear the weight of all the responsibilities that you have placed on your own shoulders. Everything that has happened to us is a direct result of what's happened in here first. All of it. Our mind creates our reality. And the sooner you realize that, the freer you'll be. So, do not give a fuck. Say with me, I do not give a fucking flying fuck. Because none of this shit matters. Okay? I love you.
Repeat after me. If there's something in your life that you're not doing, that you know you need to be doing, or going to the next level, or taking care of anything, that's fine. If you're uncomfortable with it, for whatever reason you're not bettering yourself, that's fine. But repeat after me. I take responsibility for not bettering myself. I take responsibility for being unhappy in my life. I choose not to grow. I take responsibility for choosing to be comfortable. That's all. It's no one else's fault. So if you are comfortable where you're at in your unhappiness, before you start blaming somebody else or blaming this, that, and the third, take responsibility for where you at in your life and then see how you feel about it after that.
We have to start taking responsibility for where we are. I understand that it is not your fault for every single situation that has happened. But what I have realized within my life is the moment I started taking responsibility for where I am is the moment things begin to change. It's the moment my friendships begin to change. It's the moment my relationships begin to change. It's the moment the relationship with my family begin to change. Because I took responsibility for right now. Right now where I have control. Right now where I have responsibility and empowerment in my life. Because I understand the universe works to conspire what you want, right? But you have to know what you want. And you have to take the time out to understand what you want. And what I've realized is that I just don't think people really sit down and understand what they want. And then you want the universe to just conspire something for you. But that's just not how it works. You have to have an idea of the goal you want. But to understand that, you have to understand self. And to understand self requires you taking a level of responsibility for self. And that's just the way the pattern of life works, because where you are now in life, putting it all off on someone else, sitting in the victimization mode of who you are, leads you into a life of powerlessness. And you are powerful. You are totally powerful. Like, sis, do you not realize, like, this body that we have, we can do all types of stuff. We can literally make a life. We can literally create life. But you're telling me you can't change your life? You can't be empowered in your life? I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I think you have it. I think you have it more than you think you do. And I think you're looking too far ahead instead of the 2 steps that are right in front of you. And you wonder why you keep tripping. You will stop tripping when you look at the 2 steps in front of you and just try to make those. It could be letting go of that toxic friendship that you knew wasn't doing you well for many years so that you can open the door for a new friendship. It could be leaving that partner that you've been with for 5 years knowing that it's not going anywhere, but you continue to stay there even though it goes against your values. It can be leaving that job or finding a new job or finding a new perspective in your job versus you continuing to complain at dinner time each day. Follow those 2 steps. Stop looking so far ahead. Stop looking at the house. Stop looking at the car. Stop looking at the next business. Stop looking at the next huge step and look at the small steps. Because you got a lot of power in your life. You are more powerful than you might even comprehend. You just got to own it. Hope this helps, and as always, stay powerful.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but you are in charge of your happiness. Yes, I understand there is always these outside circumstances, life things that you're going through. But if you truly want to be a happy person and you make that a priority in your life, you will be a happy person. You will cut out the toxic people in your life that are not bringing you happiness. You will quit that job that doesn't even pay you, does not bring you happiness, actually makes you livid, and you will go find another job that will actually pay you better and make you even happier. If you truly want to live a happy life, you will take a step back and look at everything that is draining your energy, making you unhappy, not helping you become the best version of yourself. Then you will remove those things from your life, prioritize you and your happiness, and then you can live a happy, amazing freaking life, besties. Or you can play the victim game and be like, oh, well, this happened to me and I'm always sick, or I'm broke, or they did this to me, woe is me, I'm the victim. No, bitch, you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your happiness. You are in charge of what bothers you and what doesn't bother you. You are in charge of where you place your energy and where you do not place your energy. So take accountability. And if you truly want to start living a happy life, make the changes and let's be happy together, besties. I love you so much. You got this. You are worthy. Make sure you fall for more, and bye, besties.
Okay, here is one that's a little bit of tough love, and I think people might want to fight against, but listen to me fully. You are 100% responsible for your own life. You're 100% responsible for your own happiness. You are not responsible for anybody else's happiness, and nobody else is responsible for yours. You have agency to change your life. And I know a lot of you are going to say, but this thing happened, but this person did something to me. I'm not saying that other people haven't affected you. I'm not saying you haven't had trauma. But think about this. If somebody runs you over with their car, sure, it's their fault. But you have to do the rehab in order to be able to walk again. You can't just lay in your bed and say, well, it was his fault. I don't want to have to do this physical therapy. You have to. It's the same thing with emotional therapy, with going through whatever trauma you went through. Sure, maybe it was someone else's fault. But that person, whoever it is, whatever happened, will never be the one that will fix you. You have to fix you.
Guys, start to take accountability for your life. If it's screwed up, it is 100% on you to fix it. If it is great, it is 100% on you to keep it that way. Life has its ups and its downs, but at the end of the day, happiness comes from within. You are happy because of yourself. Happiness comes from deep within. And so if you want to be happy, you have to prioritize your happiness first. Put yourself first, or work on yourself first.
Most people think that happiness can be measured by the people that they're around. Have you ever heard somebody say, you don't make me happy? And then next thing you know, they're breaking up because they have held that person accountable for their happiness. True happiness begins and ends with you. It doesn't begin and end with somebody else and trying to all of a sudden hold somebody else accountable for your happiness. They may be playing a role in affecting the environment that you are allowing around you by being a negative person and stuff, but ultimately you have some decisions to make, and that decision is whether or not you want to surround yourself by these negative people, or you want to create an environment with people who are positive. And not only that, but you develop a positive mindset and own your own happiness. It's your responsibility.
If you see a lot of big stuff in your life, when you go to sleep and dream, when you're daydreaming, you see yourself having a very big, fruitful, extraordinary life, you're not thinking and seeing those things for no reason. That is a sign to lock in, because the first step to being successful and accomplishing that and making that your reality is even having it on your radar in the first place. A lot of people don't think they can do certain things or have certain things because it's not on their radar. They're not in the proximity of it. They don't see other people who have it, who look like them. And so it makes them think it's really far-fetched. So if you already are seeing yourself in the future having this big life and doing all of this amazing stuff, hold on to that. Keep thinking that way. Keep surrounding yourself with rich people, successful people. Go to really nice spaces, even if you don't live in a particular neighborhood right now. Go to coffee shops in that area. Go to walks in that area. Look at all of the houses. Really attract that energy, because that proximity is saying something, and allow that to keep you motivated to keep working, because you have some place to be. You have things to do. You know it's there and you can make it happen. That's a sign that you can make it happen. People who can't make it happen are not thinking about it, and that's why it's not gonna happen. So if you see yourself having that life, take it as your own personal responsibility to lock in, to stop playing with yourself, to give yourself the life that you deserve. One of the craziest things that people can do is play with themselves and their own potential and their own destiny. The gap between where you are and that life that you keep dreaming about is your decision to lock in and your decision to be consistent and the execution of that. It's not easy, but it's very, very simple. And so if you're already viewing your life like that, you already made the first step.
I am in my mid-30s, and I have decided that I am not having kids. for so long of my life, I would go back and forth of like, oh, should I have kids? Should I not have kids? But I should have kids. But do I really want them? And back and forth and back and forth. And then on my journey, I started to see all the programming and conditioning by society of having kids. Like, literally, we are programmed to have a kid. Go to college, get a job, buy a house, marry, and have kids. Like, the programming is insane. And after I started seeing through all the illusions, right? Because the what it was for me was like, well, kids give you fulfillment and family is the most important thing and who's going to take care of you when you're older and all this bullshit, okay? So when I really started sitting down with myself, after I started seeing through all the illusions, it was a resounding hell no, I don't want kids. Because I know that I would fuck that kid up. I would. I am not in a place where I am really healed and I have elevated to be responsible over another human being. And it doesn't mean like you gotta be perfect and whole to have a kid, but the most responsible thing is that I don't have a kid, so that I don't pass on any shit down to that kid. Like, the most responsible thing that I can do is not to have a child. Like, I'm learning how to heal my inner child. I'm learning how to become a mystical parent to my inner child. And then to be an actual mother to another human being? Hell no. I have so much work to do on myself. Like, the most loving and most responsible thing that I can do is focus on me. Is love myself as I go into the healing journey. And to show up in this world as a being of unconditional love and not cause harm. And I know that if I had a kid right now, I would cause harm. And getting to this place has been so freeing for me. Like, having kids and all, I don't think about it at all. I'm like, I need to focus on me. And I need to be a beacon of light in this world by being that for myself, first and foremost. Really feel into, do you want kids because of programming or conditioning? Really sit with that.
So I kind of feel like we need to get out of a mind state where people owe us things. You know, don't get me wrong, life is hard. We go through shit every day, okay? But it's like, at what point do you take a step back and realize I'm in control of my own life? Whatever other people do, it don't have nothing to do with my life. You can't blame it on the white man. You can't blame it on her. You can't blame it on him. You got to get your life together. You have to. Because you're always going to be in a cycle where you feel like somebody is doing something to you and you can't get ahead. Life don't work like that. So, you know, I don't know. That's just my TED Talk.
You need to come to terms with this hard truth if you want to live a peaceful and present life. And this hard truth is actually not that hard once you learn to understand it. But if you're stuck in your ways, if you have a hard time changing your mind about things, it's not easy for you. But it's literally going to solve so many of your own problems, I'm telling you. So here's what you gotta know. There is literally nothing and no one outside of you that's going to fix your problems except for you. Even if the problems were created outside of you, even if they are not your fault at all, even if they are problems you've been dealing with since you were a child, the hard truth is that if you keep searching for fixes outside of you, quick fixes, long fixes, whatever they are, you're not going to find them. Or at least you're not going to find ones that are sustainable. You might find something that fixes it for a quick moment, but you got to get to the root and only you can get there. So you got to stop blaming outside forces, outside people, circumstances, situations for the suffering that's in your life right now. Because you are quite literally the only person who can make a decision to step out of the space you're in right now, step out of the mindset you're currently in, step out of the reality you're currently living and create a new one. In case no one told you today, you are undeniably, unequivocally so fucking powerful. And you can create literally any reality you want, but you have to realize right now that you're the one with the problem in the first place, and you're the only one who can fix that problem. I said what I said.
At times, we allow people with problems to bring problems to us. At that point, we are still responsible to solve the things that we did not create. Even if you were not the one who created the problem in the first place, you are still responsible. It is 100% your choice to fix it or to complain about it.
You are responsible for your own happiness. Stop giving that power to other people in your life. As children, how many times did you hear, "Don't you want to see me happy?" We were raised in a generation of unhappy parents, and now we seem to be people pleasers that just want to make sure everybody around us is happy. But who's making you happy? Because you're in charge of your own happiness. But who's doing that for you? I think most of us as parents now are realizing that we need to check in with our children and ask them if they're actually happy. Emotional intelligence and emotional well-being is really important to teach and to foster in the young generation of today. Flipping the script from, "Don't you want to see me happy?" to, "How are you feeling? What makes you happy?" Asking them the questions. So hopefully later on in life, they can ask themselves those same questions and check in with themselves. I don't know about you, but it's taken me a long time to heal this people pleaser that is ingrained within me. I still tiptoe around people sometimes and have to check in and be like, that's not my responsibility. That is not mine to hold. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're responsible for creating your dream life. Nobody is going to do it for you. Okay, you can wake up every day and wish upon a star that X, Y, and Z happens in your life, or, oh yeah, I'm gonna get started on that, or, oh, that seems like a good idea, I'm gonna make sure I do that, but you never do it. Just know you're gonna live the same day over and over and over and over again, like 90% of the people in this world, right? If you want better, you have to do better. Take responsibility for your life and where you are at this time in your life, and know that it doesn't have to be this if you don't want it to be. But it is your responsibility to change it if you want it to change.
It is time for us, for you, to take full responsibility for your reality. We've been tricked. We've been taught to believe that if you want to change your life, you need to fix the external and look for answers in the external and seek validation in the external and look for proof in the external, seek fulfillment in the external. But that is not how reality works. The external is a projection of our internal. And so if you're not happy with your life, it is your responsibility to change that. And it starts within. It all starts within. Reality is our inner projected out. And you gotta work inside out. That's why healing is so important, because we're stuck in all these subconscious loops we don't even realize we're doing until we make it conscious. There's the Carl Jung quote, or it's until you make the unconscious conscious, it'll drive your life and you'll call it fate. So if you're seeing this, you know, and you're ready, and it's time to take responsibility for your life. Don't go after what you know you could get, go after what you really want, and trust. You've got it.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.